Gatekeeping in the goth subculture is something that really needs to be talked about because it's not okay. So hello spooky bats and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name's Orphea and I'm a goth girl from Belgium. In today's video, I want to talk about something that really needs to be addressed, and it is gatekeeping in the goth subculture. Before I get into the topic, if you hear my voice going a little bit weird every now and then, I still have a little bit of a cold hanging around, but I still really wanted to make this video, so please bear with me. Now, first of all, what is gatekeeping and where does it happen? Now, gatekeeping in the goth subculture can happen two ways. The first one is in real life at events. And the second one is actually online. And I want to start by talking about the real life gatekeeping and then continue on to the digital one. Now, in real life, the gatekeeping that can happen is when you go to a new event for the first time where you don't really know a lot of people, or if you're brand new to events, you go there for the first time and there's people talking to you and actually giving you a questionnaire on, do you know the music? Have you been here before? Have you been to other goth events? What bands do you like? Can you name 5 songs? Blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that are kind of like gatekeeping. They actually want to know if you're part of the subculture. And I have to admit, I never encountered that at all at real life events. But I do know from other people that they have had it happen. And more importantly, especially from the people whose look isn't as out there. So that's something that I think is a really big shame, is that the clothes don't make the goth. And it's a video that I've made in the past. And if you haven't seen it, I can highly recommend it, because in that video I talk more about aesthetics, etc. But for today's video, I just want to talk about the gatekeepers at events. Most of the time when this happens at a real event, it is people who have been there for a very long time. And you also have to know that most of the time this doesn't come from a bad place. Most of the time these people are just simply obsessed with music and with the subculture and want to share that passion with someone new. And the thing is, I get it. When you're new, it can be overwhelming that people start asking you a million questions about the music, the subculture, why you dress, etc. But it isn't always gatekeeping. And I think that people think that there's a lot of gatekeeping in the goth subculture, but there's actually not. However, if you don't dress goth to goth events, like not even in full black, then of course you might expect a few stares and a few people asking you questions. But as soon as you step on the dance floor, or if you're mumbling along with the lyrics of a song, then people will know, that person actually likes this music and actually wants to be here for the music and for the subculture. But another thing that I've personally had happening at events that I organize is that people who aren't part of the subculture get into the events to actually harass or be annoying to the people there and laugh at them. Those people have to be kept outside. They ruin it for the rest of us. And I want to quickly address the real-life gatekeeping as well as a point of view from the organizer of an event. Most of the times I'm at the entrance of the event that I organize, or I have people there that I know, and I tell them, like, everyone who, like, you know and who is part of the scene, just let them in. If there's anyone who you have doubts about, then feel free to let me know. So we do have a kind of system, not really a system, but if there's people who are like regular people coming into my event, I will ask them, hey, how are you doing? How do you know about this event? What do you think about the music? Do you know it? Do you like it? Etc. Because we often have it that people come into events to pick up on goth girls, and that's not okay. I know that the entry fee of some of the events is rather low, and that the entry fee being so low isn't really a repellent for creeps at those events. And I'm not talking about the person constantly being at a bar drinking something who leaves everyone else alone, who's dressing completely black, who actually enjoys music. No, I'm talking about people who have nothing to do with the subculture coming to events trying to harass goth girls. Those people should stay away. So in that way, I know there's a little bit of gatekeeping, But if you're going to a goth event to enjoy yourself, to listen to the music, and you actually dress a little bit goth, then I don't think you will have any issues at all. And most of the time it comes from a place of just wanting to connect with fellow people who enjoy our music, that we will be asking all of those questions, not to scare you away at all. So for me personally, the gatekeeping at goth events, except for security reasons, I've never had it at all. I've never actually encountered any real life goth gatekeeping myself, but I know that maybe sometimes it could exist at other events. So I think it's something very personal as well. So if you've encountered any real life goth gatekeeping yourself, feel free to let me know in a comment, because it's something that I would really want to know, like what happened, when was it years and years ago, what type of event, etc. Because I've been to a bunch of new wave parties where I felt very out of place, where still no one looked twice at me, no one questioned why I was there. I've also been to raves, I've been to other electronic goth parties, etc. and I've never encountered any gatekeeping anywhere. So I really want to know if you've encountered real life gatekeeping at an event. How was it? What was it like? What did they ask you? How were they? Because I would love to know. And then on to the second part, which is online gatekeeping of the goth community. And this one I feel is very present. I feel like nowadays everyone uses the label goth, whether they are goth or not. And I get it that there's people who don't like that. I get it that there's way too many people using the hashtag goth if they just wear black lipstick, even if they're not goth at all. But I also feel like with that misuse of the hashtag goth, there is also a big spread of misinformation about the goth subculture. The goth subculture is first and foremost a music-based subculture. We all listen to new wave, post-punk, synth-pop, synth-wave, etc. The music is what makes the subculture. You can't call yourself a metalhead without listening to metal music. Same thing goes from goth. You can't call yourself a goth if you don't listen to goth music. And that's the basis of it. The way you dress, the way you do your makeup doesn't really matter. So the online goth gatekeeping is ridiculous, in my opinion, in many of the cases. Because a lot of goths online make videos, dance to things that maybe aren't or are goth music, and some people will start bashing them because they don't look goth enough, or the other way around, that they don't listen to goth music. And the thing is, online you can do those things rather anonymously. In real life, you have that person in front of you. Online, you kind of just type, press enter, and it's into the void of the internet. And online bullying, cyberbullying, is just way easier than actually confronting someone in real life. And I feel that with less barriers between you and the person who you're commenting on online, it's easier to actually start harassing people, being negative, etc. And I personally also get that on my videos. And that's why I'm really happy that platforms like YouTube actually have filters in place. And I'm also not scared to block people or delete comments. It's something that I do on a weekly basis, and it's honestly very necessary. But on other platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, those systems aren't in place, and it's way too easy for someone to start bullying you and harassing you online and getting their community to support them in their bullying and harassing, which is ridiculous, to be honest. And for me, this is something that I've been doing close to 10 years. I've also been bullied at school when I was younger, so I know how to deal with this. It's not fun by any means, and it still happens to me daily that I get weird comments or aggressive comments, or that I should seek Jesus or something, and it's not nice, and it's not something that people should have to deal with, but unfortunately not everyone uses their brain and thinks about the consequences of their actions, and this still happens quite a lot. So I feel like online it is very difficult to find a safe space to talk about the goth subculture, to talk about if you're new into it. Like, people nowadays are scared of getting in the goth community, scared of asking questions, and I think that's such a big shame. Now, I do have a Discord server, granted it's not very active at all, but I do hope for the people that are on there, it is a safe space for them to talk about things, share music there, like, without judgment. Like, there's already enough judgment in this world. Let's please just be one community. As goths, we've probably all been bullied before because of the way we look, the way we dress, the way we listen to music, that it's totally different from the others. Let's please just not, among alternative people, make it into an even bigger mess. So these were my basic thoughts about gatekeeping in the goth subculture. I feel like in real life it doesn't happen as much. I feel like online it is ridiculous. And I just hope that you don't let yourself be held back by some ridiculous gatekeepers. And the thing is, gatekeeping, depending on the way that it happens, has a reason that it happens because of negative encounters beforehand. But most of the time, people asking you questions about the subculture is simply because they want to connect and they want to find like-minded people to share their interests with, at least in real life. Online, that's a totally different story. I feel online, it's so easy to just leave a negative comment on someone's video, and yeah, I feel like it's not okay. And I feel also like platforms really don't do enough to help people or to like remove those comments or block those people. So yeah, unfortunately, that's the way that nowadays online culture works. Of course, this is just my experience with this gatekeeping and what I have personally encountered in the past few years. If you've had different experiences than me, you can always share them in the comments down below. If you don't feel comfortable sharing it in the comments down below, then feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to listen to you talk about it, and I would gladly make an updated video somewhere in the future if any new information arises. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and of course, if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!